I was asking them, you know, kind of, you ask people what key something's in, and then when they start telling me about the chords and everything, I decided even a capo wouldn't help me on this one. You write some fantastic music, and it's very, very involved music and very intricate arrangements and everything.
Well, it's interesting because I don't play an instrument, and I think in one way that's probably a help because the melodies I hear in my head are not constrained or by knowing how to play a certain way or only knowing certain chords, because I can hear them in my head. I can hear a melody in my head. I have no idea.
Well, introduce your accompanist.
Yes, this is the guy that knows all the chords, John Mock.
He knows chords I've never heard of. Never even heard the big guys talk about. But anyway.
And John, he's been on quite a trip today. He was in Connecticut this morning.
Wow.
Visiting his family.
We appreciate you flying into Branson, Missouri.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Right here in the Ozarks, overlooking the lights around the lake down there. And we've had a wonderful day. And you kind of capped it off when you came in. It's been so long since we visited. The last time we did Heart to Heart, you did one of the first Heart to Hearts. I think you did the number 4 Heart to Heart that I ever did when I first started Heart to Heart.
I remember that it was
8 years
early
ago.
on, yeah.
And 1985, 84, 85. And it was at the old RCA Victor building there in Nashville. You were hot, you were having hit after hit. You were on RCA Victor, and I was starting a new television network called CMT, and we were all exciting times. And now today is even more exciting times. You're creating new music, and I've got another network now called Americana, and things move on.
Yes, they do. It's amazing how
life is forever interesting, if
yes,
nothing
it
else.
is. In fact, in 1987, my contract ended with RCA, and I was with them for almost a little over 8 years. And since that time, I have been mostly devoting my time to writing songs and just really developing my art as a writer and as a singer, and it's been really fun. It's been a real adventure. When I recorded before, I didn't write. Yeah. And I recorded all other people's songs. Now I sing other people's songs as well, but I also probably do about half, and when I perform, I do about half my stuff. And
Perform us another Sylvia song.
Another one? Okay. Well, this is one I wrote with Verlin Thompson.
It's the one that I will lay out on.
This one goes in and out of several keys. Autumn weaves a gold carpet of leaves at my feet, whispering a sweet welcome to me, feeling all the years melt away, stepping back into yesterday, once again a lost child who has found her way home. The air is crystalline clear and it mirrors my soul, calling up a reflection of old. Papa coming in from the fields, apple pie on the windowsill, swinging on a tire under our old willow tree. Thank God I'm coming home. Bless the ground that I'm walking on. There's a light in the window, a log on the fire, an ache in my heart, and this longing desire to be home. Dancing silhouettes float on a silvery sky, giving wings to my heart as they fly. There's a light in the window, a log on the fire, an ache in my heart, and this longing desire to be home.
Chill Bump City. I love that song.
I noticed somebody got the phone.
Yeah, the phone rang. Hey, when we used to do it outside, the cows would moo and the airplanes would go over and all that. But that's heart to heart. We do heart to heart in real life.
All right. There's real
if we
telephones.
were sitting in the living room picking and the phone rang, the phone would ring.
That's right. That's right.
That's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
How would you describe your music? I mean,
that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know how you would describe it. It's just. It's music that touches me in some way. I think I had a really fun career the first phase, and it was fun singing music that was fun and that touched me really in a certain way. It was like a lot of the music I did was fun, and I felt like in the last few years some of the music that I wanted to write would be fun, but a lot of it that would be music that touched me in other ways, that moved me, and that's what I'm drawn to write, and that's what I'm drawn to record of other people's songs that just move me in some way.
Well, that's what I'm seeing in you personally. Also, I'm seeing a depth of maturity and a lot of peace. I see a lot of peace in your eyes, and a lot of you seem very settled and very happy, and very assured of yourself. And you know, one time when we were talking, there was times in your life when you weren't so assured, and when you weren't, when you were not reassured of yourself. That's hard to believe. Anybody that sees you and knows you and knows your great talent. But I know that you've accomplished an awful lot in your personal life.
Well, when you and I first met, I was in my early 20s. I signed with RCA at 22. And it's real hard to be very self-assured when you have not experienced very much life. And I guess that's just what, you know, growing up does for you, to start settling in. I love getting older.
Growing up, I don't say anything about older. I'm just saying growing up has really agreed with you. You've grown into, you were a beautiful girl, and you're a lovely woman and a lovely lady, and your music has progressed miraculously. Since I was there with your other music, and I enjoyed it very much, but this music is just it's just a step high above the other type of music you were doing. And it's very much very obvious that it comes from deep inside you. You're from Indiana originally. Yes,
I grew up in Kokomo, Indiana, and gosh, it's hard to believe. Moved to Nashville right out of high school, so I've been in Nashville almost as long as I've was living in Indiana. So really Nashville is home.
You know, when we first met, I don't remember you being a writer or being going that direction at all. Were you writing at all then?
No, I was thinking about it, but things took off pretty quickly. Once I signed with RCA, the third single I had out was a top 10 record, which was Tumbleweed, and then the next one was #1, which was Drifter, and then I started working the road. Well, the first year I was on the road full-time was 1981, and I worked 323 dates.
Oh, man.
Dates. I'm not talking about travel days. I'm talking 323 different towns. And so at that point, I was so worn out that writing really just, it was like, well, I'll do that later. And, you know, 8 years later, when I got off the road in '87, actually I signed with RCA in '79, is when I really got serious about songwriting.
See, what you just described, that type of music business and that kind of pace is unheard of today. And you and I and a lot of the other folks that had the opportunity to experience the music business in a kind of a different way, and myself in the '60s and '70s and yourself in the '80s, it was a tremendously different business. I'm doing this series of Heart to Hearts. I've invited some of my old friends to come in on one show. I'm having Cal Smith come in, great singer, and Ronnie Reno is coming in, and Bill Anderson's coming in, and Tom Brumley. Now, you say, what do those people have in common? Well, number one, they were they were in the country music business, like they say, when country music wasn't cool. They were country when country wasn't cool. And it was an entirely different business, and there's a lot of interesting stories to tell about those times. You know, it's such a, it seems like it's, a lot of people that have just recently become country music fans need to know where it came from.
And there's not a lot of outlets for the people who were performing during that time period. Branson, now people can come and see a lot of those folks in Branson, but as far as radio airplay, you know, if it was 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, probably you're not going to hear it on the radio today. So I'm glad you're getting some of those folks together, because all of us younger people, all the young people in music today have something to learn from those people who have gone down the road before them.
Absolutely.
You know,
and Americana really reveres the history and the people that really made our business. We certainly promote and love the new artists, but as always, we also revere the people that made it happen. And
you see a lot of the new people endorsing, embracing, like Buck Owens with Dwight Yoakam, and you know. So I'm glad to see that.
Well, I'm so glad to see you again and see your music and hear your music and share it.
Thank
and we'll be right back with some more of her music. And I can't wait, because I've heard it already and it's great. Stay around. We'll be right back with Heart to Heart and Sylvia Hutton.
You've asked